Great morning. It's a great day for transformation. Good morning to you all out there, or afternoon, depending on where you're tuning in from. We thank you for tuning in. First and foremost, I'd just like to acknowledge you, for I see God in you. Thank you for being present. I am Samian Crumby, founder and transformation leader of One Transformation Center. And it's an absolute pleasure and delight to be with you again this morning, standing in the space, holding the space of God's light, sharing this space with you as we go forth and be the greatest reflection that we can, that we allow ourselves to expand, to operate in the space of expansion, and be a great reflection and extension of the Master Creator, of all that the universe has to offer beyond ourselves. I am so grateful to join you. I'm so grateful that you're joining me on this journey of transformation. Here at One Transformation Center, we celebrate humanity via transformation while inspiring, motivating, and healing lives and relationships. That is our calling. That is our task. And so we have another morning manifestation session that we have every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to start this week off in a wonderful, majestic way. And I'm so grateful that you have joined. So when you come in the room, please like the stream. Take a moment to share it so that others may be aware. We can increase the algorithms so we can increase the journey for others. We're going to begin this morning with the oath of manifestation. The oath of manifestation. You'll see it on your screen. And for those, if it's your first time viewing it or joining us, the oath of manifestation is an oath, a declaration that we declare. We're speaking life into our bodies, into our minds, into our hearts, into our souls. So join us. If you can read along, read along. If not, it's okay. Just repeat what we say. All right, we're going to do so with fervor, with meaning, with understanding. So join us as we declare. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and in the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have. And I am grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. And so it is. Allow yourself to receive that, to accept this as your truth, as your knowingness, as you proceed on your journey to, and that is the oath of manifestation. Now let us move into today's reading. Let's move into today's reading, which is the the affirmative reading and prayer, which comes from A Course in Miracles, Lesson 71, which states, only God's plan for salvation will work. Only God's plan for salvation will work. And it reads, I stand correction, 72, we're in 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let's read. While we have acknowledged that the ego's plan for salvation is the opposite of God's, we have not yet emphasized that it is an attractive attack on his plan and a deliberate attempt to destroy it. In the attack, God is assigned the attributes which are actually associated with the ego, while the ego appears to take on the attributes of God. Let me reread that. While we have recognized that the ego's plan for salvation is the opposite of God's, we have not yet emphasized that it is an active attack on his plan and a deliberate attempt to destroy it. In the attack, God is assigned the attributes which are actually associated with the ego, while the ego appears to take on the attributes of God. The ego's fundamental wish is to replace God. In fact, the ego is the physical embodiment of that wish. For it is that wish that seems to surround the mind with the body, keeping it separate and alone, and unable to reach other minds except through the body that was made to imprison it. The limit on communication cannot be the best means to expand communication. Yet the ego would have you believe that it is. Although the attempt to keep the limitations that a body would impose is obvious here, it is perhaps not so apparent why holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. But let us consider the kind of things you are apt to hold grievances for. Are they not always associated with something a body does? Are they not always associated with something a body does. A person says something you do not like. He does something that displeases you. He betrays his hostile thoughts in his behavior. You are not dealing here with what the person is. On the contrary, you are exclusively concerned with what he does in a body. You are doing more than failing to help free. You are doing more than failing to help in freeing him from the body's limitations. You are actively trying to hold him to it by confusing it with him, and judging them as one. Herein is God attacked. For if his son is only a body, so must he be as well. A creator wholly unlike his creation is inconceivable. If God is a body, what must his plan for salvation be? What could it be but death? In trying to represent himself as the author of life and not of death, he is a liar and a deceiver, full of false promises and offering illusions in place of truth. The body's apparent reality makes this view of God quite convincing. In fact, if the body were real, it would be difficult indeed to escape this conclusion. And every grievance that you hold insists that the body is real. It overlooks entirely what your brother is. It reinforces your belief that he is a body and condemns him for it. And it asserts that his salvation must be death, projecting his attack onto God and holding him responsible for it. To be true to this carefully prepared arena, where angry animals seek for prey and mercy cannot enter, the ego comes to save you. God made you a body. Very well. Let us accept this and be glad. As a body, do not let yourself be deprived of what the body offers. Take the little you can get. God gave you nothing. The body is your only savior. It is the death of God and your salvation. This is the universal belief of the world you see. Some hate the body and try to hurt and humiliate it. Others love the body and try to glorify and exalt it. But while the body stands at the center of your concept of yourself, you are attacking God's plan for salvation and holding your grievance against him and his creation, that you may not hear the voice of truth and welcome it as friend. Your chosen Savior takes his place instead. It is your friend, he is your enemy. We will try today to stop these senseless attacks on salvation. We will try to welcome it instead. Your upside down perception has been ruinous to your peace of mind. You have seen yourself in a body and the truth outside you, locked away from your awareness by the body's limitations. Now, we're going to try to see this differently. The light of truth is in us. The light of truth is in us. Where it was placed by God, it is the body that is outside us, and it is not our concern. The light of truth is in us, where it was placed by God. It is the body that is outside us and is not our concern. To be without a body is to be in our natural state. To recognize the light of truth in us is to recognize ourselves as we are. To see ourselves as separate from the body is to end the attack on God's plan for salvation and to accept it instead. And wherever his plan is accepted, it is accomplished already. Our goal in the longer practice periods today is to become aware that God's plan for salvation has already been accomplished in us. To achieve this goal, we must replace attack with acceptance. To achieve this goal, we must replace attack with acceptance. As long as we attack it, we cannot understand what God's plan for us is. We are therefore attacking what we do not recognize. Now, we are going to try to lay judgment aside and ask what God's plan is for us. What is the salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. That's the question we're asking. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Continue reading. Then we will wait in quiet for his answer. We have attacked God's plan for salvation without waiting to hear what it is. We have shouted our grievances so loudly that we have not listened to his voice. We have used our grievances to close our eyes and stop our ears. Now we would see and hear and learn. Now we will see and hear and learn. What is salvation, Father? Ask and you will be answered. Seek and you will find. We are no longer asking the ego what salvation is and where to find it. We are asking it of truth. Be certain then that the answer will be true because of whom you asked. Whenever you feel your confidence wane and your hope of success flicker and go out, repeat your question and your request, remembering that you are asking of the infinite creator of infinity, who created you like himself. What is the salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. He will answer. Be determined to hear. One or perhaps two shorter practice periods, an hour, will be enough for today. Since they will be somewhat longer than usual, these practices will begin with this. The practices will begin with holding grievances. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, Father? Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, Father? Now, I want to take a moment and go back through the reading today, because there's some crucial points that are essential that we do not miss them. We have separated ourselves from God's plan simply because we've chosen to see the body instead of seeing God in each other. We're holding grievances. We're holding grievances, thereby creating this separation from salvation, because we have allowed what someone may say, how someone may have treated us, or they have looked at us to separate us from God's plan. We have allowed someone's actions to confuse us or to create condemnation. We have allowed someone's behaviors to be the truth instead of seeing beyond them, instead of understanding that that is not truth, that is of the ego. That is of the ego's desire to create separation between us and God. So I challenge you today as you go forward to check yourself to ensure that you are not creating separation, whether it's by accident or on purpose. Yes, you may get some temporary satisfaction in the separation that you create by seeing your neighbor, your brother or your sister, your parent or your child, by seeing them as separate, by seeing them merely as the shell, the vessel, the carcass, the body. Look beyond that and see God in them and honor them as such. This will allow you to remain connected to God and the salvation, but most importantly, God's plan for you. We're so quick to ask the question, what is my purpose? The only reason why we ask this question is simply because we are disconnected from God's plan. Once we become reconnected, first by removing any grievance that we may have to anyone or anything, instead of choosing to see them in a way that may create grievance, seeing them as an attack, take a moment and take a deep breath and realize that they are merely here to support you with becoming of being a contrast to remind you of God's plan. So release the need to see them as a body. Release the need to know them as separate. Release the need to create judgment or hold a grievance. For what you do not realize is that grievance is the thing that is keeping you from the peace that you desire, the love that you deserve, the prosperity and abundance, the freedom that is your birthright. So take a moment and ensure that you are in alignment. How do you do that? By simply asking the question, what is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Again, salvation, I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Let's take a brief moment and ask this question and allow ourselves to hear the response, to move beyond our ego. Remember, ego is simply edging God out. The ego is simply edging God out. It doesn't necessarily have to feel like a bad thing. It's just the thing that creates separation. So you have to ask yourself, do you desire to be separate from your true self or to be in alignment with your divinity? Do you desire to be separate or aligned with your true self? And then you can make your decision based upon that. Yet, when you make the decision to be aligned with your true self, and that's when you go to the space of asking, what is salvation, Father? So join me in this moment as we ask the question. What is salvation, Father? Let's take a deep breath so that we may clear our minds. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale through your nose. Hold it. And exhale through your mouth. Once again, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And ask the question, repeat after me, what is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. And let's listen. And as we're listening, let's remind ourselves that holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Say this with me. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, Father? And listen. Throughout your day, revisit this space, knowing that the answer is here for you. It's here for you. That commences the reading of the day. Father, Mother God, we thank you so much for this moment and for the reminder of your plan and the salvation that exists within your plan. We thank you for reminding us how we hold on to grievances and how we create grievances in the very minute ways. How we allow what the body does, what the body feels, to create separation. How we consciously or unconsciously create separation between our brothers and our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our children, our neighbors, our co-workers, all that occupy this planet with us. God, we are not our bodies. We are not edging you out. Ego does not reign supreme in this moment in time. We trust in you. Our desire is to reconnect with you, to fully embrace the promises that you have granted us, the inheritance that is our birthright, the freedom that we desire and deserve. We thank you for the reminder that it is available, even though everything around us may say otherwise. But that is false evidence appearing real, isn't it? And you are here each and every day reminding us of the truth. So we give thanks for the ability and the opportunity to reconnect with truth, which is your plan. Which is your plan. So we surrender to your plan. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Asheo. All right, good people. Thank you again for investing into your transformation this morning. We're very grateful. We're very grateful. We're very grateful that you've joined us and that you continue to join us. And we hope that you will continue to be with us, that you will continue to join us each and every morning, join us on this journey of morning manifestation session that prepares us for our day and reminds us of who we are and whose we are. Each and every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Don't forget to set your calendars. As a reminder, on Wednesday nights, we return with transformative conversations. Look forward to having you there as well. If you haven't already taken the moment to go to the YouTube space at One Transformation Center, that's where we broadcast through live. Go there and like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell. It gives you that 30-minute reminder when we're coming on. Also, as a reminder, go to our social media spaces at One Transformation at Facebook, One Transformation Center at Facebook and Instagram. That would allow you to get the daily updates. They come in and the daily reminders so that you can remain informed, connected, and you can be empowered, inspired, motivated, and continue to heal on your journey. We love you. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning at the same time, same place. Be great. Don't forget, be the change you desire to see.